Okay, we're going to try this again. We had some technical difficulties. Not really sure what exactly happened, but this is what happens when you go live. So, we're going to start over. And we are talking here today in this master series all about the three pitfalls of hiring and what you can do different. And we're going to, as I said, we're going to start from scratch here. We're going to start over because not really sure what happened, but all of a sudden I lost my connection. So, right now, a lot of small business owners are facing those huge struggles when it comes to trying to find and retain and elevate employees in today's in today's world. Okay, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. I mean, I work with people who are in manufacturing to restaurants to retail. They're all facing the same challenges. And I have clients who they've posted billboards, they've had signs outside their business, they've posted job employment ads, and still are struggling to find really good people. And I believe in my experience, in my expertise, what I'm seeing is that the reason why this is such a struggle is that many small business owners are playing with an old playbook or using old methodologies and really approaching it with an old mindset. So what we're talking about today is these pitfalls. And these pitfalls, these three pitfalls, are the reason why we fall into them and why many people are falling into them is because we're trying to apply old principles in a new world. Okay. We are trying to apply old thinking in a whole new set of circumstances and a whole new way of doing things, a new economy, really a new world. So we're going to get into this and we're going to talk about, like I said, the three pitfalls. And we're also going to I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do a little differently to hopefully find the people that you're looking for. So the first pitfall is you don't need to hire within your industry. I know many people, especially when it comes to the restaurant industry, the retail industry, we want to immediately say, well, we want someone who has server experience. We want someone who has, retail experience, who has worked in retail before. And I'm here to tell you that the more important thing that you need to do is decide who it is that you're looking for. And I don't mean that you want someone who has experience in your industry, but who really is it that you want working in your business? Okay. I have clients that have tried to hire and have put employment ads out there stating that they want people who have restaurant experience. And when they've hired those people, okay, in that particular industry, they have had trouble retaining them. They've had trouble keeping them, okay? But when they have said, okay, this is the job and this is the type of person that we're looking for, they have found a different type of person. And as I like to say, to my clients when I'm working with people is diversity is one of the key things that you want in your business to build a healthier, wealthier culture. It is one of the key things that you need in your business to build a better business, one that will have a stronger foundation so that you can take care of the inside people and they'll take care of the outside, which is your customers. So when we look outside of our industry, we get that diversity in thinking, we get that diversity in experiences, and we get that diversity in backgrounds. So we can look at the things that are happening in our business and say, okay, how can we do this different? Or how can we do this better? And one of the best things that you can do as a business owner is bring inspiration into your business from outside of your industry. If you're a restaurant, you can bring inspiration from the educational world into your business. If you're a retail store, you can do the same thing. If you are If you're a retail store, you can even draw inspiration from the entertainment industry. So the more you can do that, okay, the more you have people that have different backgrounds and different experiences and different ways of handling challenges, you can bring that into your business and create more innovation. So that's pitfall number one. You don't need to hire within your industry. Okay. Number two is that goes along with this is hiring on values based on core values than hard skills. And as someone once said to me, skills run dry, values run deep. So, again, taking a look at who is it that we really want in this business? And when you are interviewing someone, really getting a good feeling for what their core values are and how then they align with the core values of the business. So, the clearer, and I've said this so many times to people lately, the clearer you are on what you stand for, your core values, what you're all about, the future that you're trying to create, who you are, and also who you want on your team, the clearer you are on that, those people will show up. And people don't, I mean, people, whenever I say that, they're like, oh, Teresa, that's how can that possibly happen? Well, it's a universal thing, universal law that when we are super clear on what it is that we want, everything else just ends up falling into place. So the clearer we are on the vision that we want, the clearer that we are on who we need in specific roles, when we put our action into place and we're looking for a specific person that we want on our team, we take the right actions. We put the right stuff into our interview process. Okay. We do things differently. All right. So when we do that, we get the right people showing up. And as I've said, working with clients who have had struggles in this with this right now, when they've applied a different set of thinking, when they've looked more at we need people who have core values that align with the core values of our business. We're going to find people who aren't going to call off all the time, who aren't just going to show up for shifts, who aren't going to, you know, be like the people who end up, you know, making an environment negative. We're going to get the right people, the people that are aligned with what is it that we're trying to do. So the third thing is and this is a big one, is that people right now, and this, like I said, this is how things always were. You put out an employment ad, you wrote up the ad, you said, okay, these are the skills that we need. This is what the job consists of. You know, this is how much we're going to pay, yada yada. Now you need to sell the business, the company, and what makes you different even more so than ever before. And that needs to be even more important than saying, we're looking for an executive assistant with these skills, okay, or these qualifications. You need to sell what makes you different even more now than ever before. So, getting super clear on what makes you different. All right. And we're back. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Thanks for hanging in there with me if you're still hanging here. Um, I don't know what the heck is going on with StreamYard today. So, uh, thank you for hanging in. Um, anyway, so moving on. The bottom line to the three pitfalls. So the first one is you don't need to hire within your industry. The second one is that you don't hire for hard skills, but hire for core values. Okay. And the third one is when people want to just post out there a job description and then that's their ad and trying to attract people that way. Okay. So and we talked a little bit about what you want to do instead. So for the first one, we want to bring in diversity into our business. So looking outside of our industry, people who don't necessarily have industry experience in our industry, but are those people who we really need in that particular role. Number two is to hire for like look for the core values, understand what your core values are. Okay. And what core values of your employee do you really want them to have and how do the two align, okay? And then number 3 is to really promote what makes you different, figuring out what makes you different. As I was saying before this got wonky on me, is I have a client that has put together a benefits package, a retirement package that they are offering to employees within their business, and it's a retail and a restaurant. So, what makes you different? Okay. Also, really getting clear on what your vision is and being able to communicate that to people who are interested in working for you. So, bottom line is, and a lot of industries do this, they hire on the fly. They say, oh my gosh, we need to put bodies in a position because we're short staffed. And they end up hiring on the fly. And that never works out well, no matter what. Okay. So, always having a clear idea of who it is that you want on your team. What does that look like? And don't think of today, but think of 6 months from now. What do you want your team to look like? Who do you need on your team? How, like, taking a look at your vision and saying, what is our future team going to look like and where are we going to go to find these people? Okay. And taking a look at that and saying, okay, not just putting bodies, like putting people into positions just because you need people, because you feel like you're short staffed, but saying, what is it that we want to accomplish? And who do we need in that role to help us get there? Okay. And the more you do that and the clearer you are about that, the better, the better off you'll be. And the more likely you will find the right people. The more likely you will find the people that you need in those roles. The other thing is take a look at your hiring process. Okay. Do you have a hiring process? A lot of people don't. They just put something out there. People say, okay, I want to, I'm interested in this position. They bring them in and hire them on the spot. You want to make sure that you have, I like to call it a blueprint, okay, of your process. All right. And mine has 5 E's. So the first one is you want to engage. All right. And that's attracting the right people. And again, how do you engage them? You engage them by pointing out and promoting what makes you look different. Remember, you need to hire good people and you need them as much as they need to find a job and they need you. All right. And the way that you're going to do that is by selling your business, like selling who you are. And I don't mean selling in a cheesy way, in a sleazy way. I mean promoting what makes you different. Okay. So that's the first one, is engage. The second one is evaluate. And this is the part that a lot of people don't get right. So once you have that first interview, okay, once you get the candidate in there, or even, I like to tell people do a phone interview or Zoom interview first. Okay. Then if you want to do a live interview, if you can, bring them in then. All right. Um, back in the day, it used to be Skype. You used to do Skype all the time. Okay. Before Zoom even existed. So, making sure that you have a process to evaluate these people. All right. You can do screenings where you're actually, when you request references, you can do personality tests, okay, like DISC or Myers Briggs. I mean, there's the Kolbe assessment. There's so many different ones, just to use as like, okay, how does this person deal with different situations? How does this person deal with management? Is this person a leader? Like, and just kind of getting to know them better. All right. So you have the evaluate, then deciding if you want to employ them. All right. And that screening that you end up doing, whatever that looks like, whatever that evaluation process looks like, that's going to help you to determine whether like you want to employ this person or not. It also will help to prevent bad hires. Okay. When you hire on the fly and you hire on the spot, you haven't taken the time to fully say, okay, is this person going to fit into the role that we need? Okay. Not from a hard skill. As I always tell people, you can teach anybody hard skills. You can teach anybody to do anything. But you can't teach dedication, you can't teach work ethic, and you can't teach drive. Okay. So seeing that in the person, understanding their core values, how does that align with the business? But then also taking it one step further with that screening process to see, okay, how does this person handle different situations? How do they interact with other people? Okay. And you can get that from these different types of assessments. The fourth one is once you employ them, you educate them. And again, this is another thing that a lot of small businesses don't put into place. You want to have a process for onboarding, training, and educating your new hires, but also people on a regular, ongoing basis. Okay. So making sure that you have the right processes in place and set up so that you can onboard them and get them up to speed and get them rolling, make them feel comfortable. Because remember, education and clarity equals power. So the more educated they are, the more empowered they'll be. Okay. So making sure that you have a process in place to educate them. And then the next step number 5 is elevate. How can you take them to the next level? Okay. So giving this some thought as far as what can you do differently? How can you look at this hiring process? How can you look at finding and retaining people in a different way? Again, if you try and play with the old rule book, okay, if you try and use old principles and theories and processes that we did 3 years ago, it's not going to work in today's day because the world has changed. People have changed. Employment has changed. Business has changed. And if you're not changing with it and changing the way that you do things, you're never going to find those people that you're looking for, the people that really align with your business. So if you are looking to put some of these practices in place, if you are looking to really build that culture, to find the right people, to even be able to lay out and determine what kind of a team you really need, not just for today, but 6 months from now, a year from now, whatever that looks like, then we need to work together. Okay. And if you are interested in having the conversation and going to the next step, let's jump on a call and let's do it. Okay. When you work with me, we dig into the trenches and we really work on defining your culture. We work on defining your strategy and we work on defining the experience. Okay. It is not something where it's like I give you a template, I give you a roadmap, and you say, okay, I'm going to follow this exactly because every business is different. All right. I don't believe in cookie cutter things. Every business is different. Every business has its own uniqueness. So we work in a blueprint, but we make that blueprint work for you. So if you're interested and you want to jump on a call, you want to really take your business to the next level, then let's do it. Okay. Let's have that conversation. Let's see what the next best steps are for you. So in the comments below, I'm going to put the link for to book I call it a revenue enhancement call. Let's just connect. Let's find out what the next best steps are for you and how you can really start defining the team that you want, the culture that you want to build, and what you want to do or what you need to do to take your business to the next level. So, thank you for joining me today. If you want to go to the next level, if you want to be the best in your industry, then we need to work together. All right. So I look forward to seeing you next week, and hopefully we won't have these glitches again. But until then, have a great one. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you soon.